Video 204 that's coming out today. All right, y'all. Errol Spence Jr. He gave an interview last night, and I don't know if I was the only one that noticed this. And what I'm about to say is not to make fun of Errol Spence. It's not to pull attention to him. It's because I'm concerned about him getting in the ring. Why would I be concerned? I don't know him in real life. Because I'm concerned with anybody who gets into this sport because I like the sport and I don't want to see anybody possibly get killed or put into a coma. Here's the thing. I'm going to play a snippet of the interview of Errol Spence talking, and then I'm going to go back and play him talking in an interview from last year. So I just want y'all to listen to this real fast. Listen to his voice. Listen to even how his voice is lower pitched.
Return back to boxing this year. Next year.
We're looking at it right here again, the scene of the accident,
listening.
one car accident.
Turn it down
What do
so
you
the
remember from
algorithm
it, Errol?
doesn't mess me up.
I don't really remember too much, but I can't really talk about the case now. I've been advised by my lawyer.
All right, you hear his voice? Now listen to him talk here.
I think that was my longest layoff, 9 months. Before that I was, in the ring every 3 months, every 4 months I was in the ring. So, just the layoff, just fighting overseas. It takes time to get adjusted in the ring. You're fighting outside, you're fighting.
All right, I don't have to keep playing him talking, but you get the point of what I'm saying. His speech pattern is much slower. Errol Spence has never been very clear when he talks. He almost talks like don't really open his mouth all the way, but you can clearly understand what he's saying. When he's speaking now, it almost sounds like he's talking like this with something muffling his voice. And like I said, his voice is deeper, it is slower. And when you looked in his eyes and he was talking, it almost looked like a glazed look. This is not the sport with a critical head injury to be getting back in there to possibly get another critical head injury. I know he's a boxer. I know that this is his main income. But I would like to see the PBC, Fox, somebody, ESPN, give him a job as an analyst so he can have a decent income for him and his family. I'm not saying he shouldn't fight. I'm saying he needs to be very careful because the Errol Spence I saw talking and his mannerisms, his facial characteristics, everything about him didn't seem 100%. It seemed off. I don't know if I'm the only one that saw that, but like I said, this isn't to say that he's punch drunk or he's slow or anything like that to be negative. This is about true concern, and I think Errol Spence fans should be worried about it too. Me personally, I've never been a huge Spence fan. I said Porter would beat him, and Porter lost. Even though a lot of people argue Porter won, and as I've said several times, it'd be in my best interest to be like, yeah, Porter beat him. He didn't. I had it a tie. I had it the same amount of rounds, 6-6, but Spence got that knockdown, which tipped the scale to give him a 7th point. So that's why I had Spence beating Porter. I don't know. I don't want to see him get in there because, I understand that you've got to make a living. I understand that you have a lifestyle that you want to uphold. But at the same time, if you get in there and you die or you get in there and end up like McClellan, you're not going to be able to do anything for your family. So he said he had MRIs. He said he's checked out. He said he's going to fight in May. They need to put him in there with a powder puncher. And y'all could argue with me. Y'all could be like, oh, here it goes. PBC protecting. No, this ain't about protecting champions from fighting other champions or other upper tier. This is about protecting him from hurting himself. He needs to get in there with some guys with wins and losses on their record and not a lot of knockouts, maybe 1 or 2 knockouts, just people who, if they've won on points, but they don't have no real power. And then you see how he deals with that power. I personally don't know if he's really sparring in the gym, but hearing the way he talked, I wouldn't want to see him sparring. And if he's to the point to where he can't box again, then I would hope that one of these stations would hire him to be a commentator, to be doing analysis on fighters, even be a journalist. Like too many times I've mentioned in my videos that I don't like these journalists. I don't like these people who write articles about fighters who have never fought in their life. They've never been in a street fight. They've never been in a elementary school fight. They've never been in a boxing ring. They've never been around a boxing ring. They've never seen what it takes to go through it. They've never experienced it. They write, but they don't know what they're looking at. They're watching a fight, but their knowledge of what's going on, they're not there. They're not qualified, in my opinion, to write articles about it. They're just not qualified. And people like Spence, ex-fighters, those would be perfect jobs for people who are experts, who have been to the top, who have won world titles, who have fought other big names, who have been dominant, if you want to say. Like I said, my opinion, aside from how I feel about Spence, he has maintained belts and he's won. So you can't really go against that. You could say that he ran from Bud, but at this point, I don't even want to see him in there with Bud. To be honest, I don't. I love Crawford. Crawford forever has been my pound for pound best, but I don't want to see Spence fight Crawford. I wouldn't want to see him fight Crawford for at least another year, year and a half, and people can get mad all day, but this is about health. This ain't about fan service. And I just feel like fighters, especially, you can't do every fighter because you got fighters who are journeymen, fighters who are stepping stones, fighters who are just there to buff records. But guys who have made it to the top, I feel like they should be the first ones offered these jobs because they're the only ones that understand what's going on. Even if it's as a journalist, you don't have to be a good writer. That's why you have editors. You don't even have to be able to write. You could talk like I'm talking and have your editor break down what you're saying so it's grammatically correct, it looks nice, and it's structured properly. So there's just so many other things that I feel like should be offered to fighters when they're done so that they don't have to fight forever. Because I don't know what his finances are. I don't know if he's getting back in the ring because he needs to fight. I'm hoping that's not the case, but if it is, I really do feel like stations like Fox, promotional companies like PBC, who have a really good relationship with Fox because they got their own fight show on Fox, they need to offer people like this jobs. So thank y'all for watching. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all think Errol Spence sounded off, or did y'all think he sounded like his normal self? Because to me, I saw a bunch of red flags.